What I find is, having been at the London show, when I got back to Texas, I started receiving a lot of calls from other publicists. And of course, I told them I already have people. So I got on their radar, and I'm anticipating the same thing with the LA Times book show. The London book show was my first one. It was more of a trade show, and this one is more interactive with a lot of participants coming, more like a festival kind of event. And I see there's some really, famous authors on the venue as well. And just to be part of that is just great as a brand new writer to be in that environment with these other people. It's just fantastic. What I hope with this event is that people will get to know more about me, about the book, tell their friends and families, and try and expand that. And the important thing that I've told everybody is that I've designated all the proceeds and the royalties go to 2 scholarships, one at my university in Texas and one at the University of Strathclyde in Scotland, where I'm a visiting professor. So I split between both of those universities for students that are, disadvantaged, maybe give them a chance to be able to go to medical school, PhD, biomedical engineering, those things. So I'm hoping that this will launch and continue to grow and, sell a lot of books from that aspect. During these events, people have come up, and there's a group that came up, and they're so fascinated by the topic of going from being a surgical provider to a caregiver to a patient. They wanted to hear a lot more about that, and they kind of paged through the book and saw things I put in there, my own personal experiences as a patient, and they were like, wow, look at this. I mean, here's someone who's a medical profession, now on the other side of the street. And I'm a real advocate of patient safety. We teach that at our university. It's very important. It's such a different thing being on the other side of the street as a patient. The other factor was becoming a caregiver. When my wife had her stroke, I had to kind of rethink my career and so forth to give her assistance and help. She took care of everything in the marriage, and now I had to take over finances, everything, and it was a real transition. People ask me, they say, wow, when we read your book, you just opened everything up. There's humor in there, and there's a lot of passion. The passion that I have, not only, for my wife, my patients, and my students and residents that I've taught over the years. It's such a thing that I'm trying to really, show them that here you can basically reinvent yourself. One of the psychologists at the university said, when you have cancer, you've got to change yourself so cancer doesn't recognize you. So I went from becoming a surgeon to a writer. I hope it works. People say, well, what's the dichotomy between surgery and writing or the literary environment? Well, it's interesting. They're kind of similar in that in surgery, you have to be precise, go through different steps and stages. Same with writing. You get the concept down, the editing and so forth and that. The difference is the similarity in that as you become more of a seasoned surgeon, people hear about you, know about you, want to come see you. I've been thinking about what LA will look like versus, London. Again, 2 different venues, and, I'm hoping there's, it's a 2-day event I'll be here for, maybe a lot more interaction. It's more of an outdoor event than in a convention center. California is different, Southern California. It's on campus, probably a lot of, college students or so forth, and I'm hoping maybe, even some of the medical students from the USC, School of Medicine will come by and be intrigued by seeing, a scalpel on a cover of a book and some surgeon talking. I've been thinking about, as I move on in this, and hoping, someday that I'll be invited to maybe some TV show, something, and go from there and launch it, and, go ahead and then be invited to, book fairs as, a speaker on stage and so forth. That'd be a dream, to do that. I know that's a tough one to crack, because there's a lot of writers out there, and to make it to that level, but that would be just really awesome within my lifetime to do something like that. Because I really feel that the stories that I've written, really give an emotional impact to people and hopefully will help them get through things. When I first started writing, then thought about trying to find, publicists and people to help me kind of get the book marketed. Writers Branding came forth, and Olivia from that company, contacted me, and wow, there's this connection. They've been great. I mean, she'll call me every day. There are people who will give me updates, emails, where we are, list of what's coming up, what are the opportunities, and so forth. And then cooperating with Reading Glass Books, they've been really good about finding the venues, hosting me, being sure that things go smoothly. They're really great in London. As I said, it was my first event, and that went so smooth. I'm so excited that I'm looking forward to these next 2 days. I think they'll be just as good or even better. They're both great organizations for me to work with.